The following is a presentation of Real Wise Productions and Comey Media Incorporated. Is the cat out of the bag already in 2024? Next on Mentality. Welcome to another installment of Mentality, a special Mentality installment because this is the first of 2024. That's right. Well, you have entered the program where we talk about, I don't know. Let's see, health, wealth, mental health, entrepreneurship, love, and brotherhood, all from a man's perspective because, well, we believe iron sharpens iron. I am one of the co-hosts of this program, Cole Johnson, aka the Mad Scientist and EP Extraordinaire, and I am joined as always by the other co-host of this program. The man is known as Wizall. Let's see, the man that is your boy Wize, the man who calls himself Mr. Petty, and other nicknames. It is your boy and mine, Wizelefe. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, brother. I'm doing very well.
Chief Justice, I should say, John Roberts. Of course, he is the ultimate judge in the U.S. Supreme Court. He feels as though the federal courts should explore how artificial intelligence will play a part in the near and distant future of law. Roberts also avoided, though, any mention of the ethics lapses that have become a central issue for the court for all of 2023. Now, he went over to say about AI, quote, machines cannot fully replace humans. Much can turn on a shaking hand, a quivering voice, a change of inflection, a bead of sweat, a moment's hesitation, a fleeting break in eye contact. Close quote. But Roberts also said the federal courts will likely need to embrace the technology for other tasks, just as judges eventually came to rely on computers instead of quill pens and copy machines instead of carbon copies. Now, my question to you, since you are a fan of AI from the Chat GPT variety, how will artificial intelligence affect the United States legal system?
Well, it depends. It depends on how somebody might use it to write laws, or who knows? Who knows what as far as what their concern is.
3 of Donald Trump's former White House staffers issued stark warnings about his potential second term and pleaded for others in power to speak out against the former president. Alyssa Farah Griffin, former White House Director of Strategic Communications, said on last Sunday, on ABC's This Week, quote, fundamentally, a second Trump term could mean the end of American democracy as we know it. Close quote. Oh Lord, here we go again. It's the end of the world as we know it. Not be fine. Gosh, why are former aides so scared of the second Donald Trump administration?
Because they seen how much power he got from the first administration.
Hmm.
Like his fan base is out of control right now. Like, and again,
I love you, term fan base.
it's 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 crazy because I've kind of, since we've been started doing the show, I've actually kind of shifted on how much I despise him to the point where I'm like, a lot of the stuff he makes sense. Like I
Hmm.
continuously catch myself saying that a lot of the stuff that he does and says makes sense.
Hmm.
Now, does he deliver it in a tactful way? No,
No.
absolutely not. But a lot of it's again, I say this, I said this a while ago where I'm like, man, I can't hate on a man who can honestly just be himself.
Right. How could we? Yeah, and we both have said this on the show. I mean, I had to come to the realization as you did too. Like, I have a mouth like he does. Well, now mine may not be as foul as his, but I still have a mouth. I mean, I still have opinions. I still share them. I still don't give a crap who likes or dislikes it. I'm like, oh, doggone it, that's the former president too.
Yeah.
So how can I hate? How can I hate that when I want people not to hate me for that? It looks like the president of the United States is heading into this election year 10 months from now, showing alarming weakness among stalwarts of the Democratic base. Now, with Donald Trump leading among Hispanic voters and young people, and only one in black voters now say that they'll support a third party candidate in November, trouble seems to be on the horizon for the 46th president. In a new USA Today Suffolk University poll, Biden's failure to consolidate support in key parts of the coalition that elected them back in 2020 has left him narrowly trailing Trump, the likely Republican nominee, 39% to 37%, with 17% support going toward an unnamed third party candidate. Is Biden losing young voters' support a trend, or will it change before November?
It all depends. It all depends. And this is something I'm just going to continue to say until they prove me otherwise.
Mhm.
The Republican Party is handing over this election to Sleepy Joe. They're just handing it over. Every time we discuss politics and we discuss who, what, and where, like, listen, that the fact that they don't know how to stand together and and rally together and beat a man who is half asleep. Like, again,
Mhm.
I have a mother who suffers from Alzheimer's,
Mhm.
and I see the looks that she gets.
Mhm.
My man has the same look at times. He does, man. He does. And y'all can't beat him. Y'all just continuously do stupid and all y'all doing is battling each other. Y'all letting Trump come and smack you like nothing.
Oh.
Y'all taking it to the point where relying on your judge friends to take them off ballots.
Hello, Colorado and Massachusetts.
because y'all don't know I don't know any other way to beat them. So Republican Party again. I don't feel sorry for you guys. I feel sorry for us, the American people,
The people. Mhm.
because you clowns continuously keep this up and let this sleepy bus driver continuously drive. Y'all just find a way to this up. The last 2 election cycles, y'all have this up royally. Royally.
Sleepy bus driver.
And y'all gonna continuously this up. And I'm trying to not curse as much. I'm going into the new year better me, new me.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
There's room for growth. But when we discuss idiots, it just brings I have to bring myself down to their level and use words they might understand, like morons, idiots. These are terms they can relate to.
Bring myself down to their level.
We're just getting started. Mentality will return. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
Welcome back to Mentality, where men are men and not machines. With Wiser Leffe, I am Cole Johnson, and there's a movie that is making its way to the screens, and it's an interesting take on society, one on identity and one on race. Now, what is that movie, you ask? Well, welcome to Celebrity Style. Now, many of you are familiar with Jeffrey Wright. You may not be familiar with his name, but I'm sure you're familiar with his characters, chiefly the villain in the 2000 adaptation of Shaft and others. Like I think he played Martin Luther King in a role one time, and
Yeah.
other movies. Well, he is earning award season like kudos for his grumpy role in the acclaimed satire American Fiction, playing what he lovingly calls an quote equal opportunity misanthrope, close quote. Even his children are doling out positive reviews. He had this to say about the uh the reviews that his daughter gave. Quote, my daughter saw the movie and said, there's a lot of your humor in there. I'm afraid to say it kind of came natural. Close quote. And it was ended with a laugh. Well, the writer and director Cord Jefferson's heartfelt and hilarious look at race, culture, and identity centers on middle-aged academic Thelonious Monk Ellison, which that's the name of the character that Jeffrey Wright is playing, who spitefully writes a novel filled with black stereotypes as a joke, and much to his chagrin, it becomes his biggest career success. At the same time, Monk connects with his estranged family members, such as his sister, played by Tracy Ellis Ross, his brother, played by Sterling K. Brown, and his mother, played by Leslie Uggams. And of course, in addition to that cast, the love interest is Erica Alexander. You may not know the name, but you would know her by Maxine of Living Single. Now, I'll open the questioning like this. You've lived on this earth just about as long as I have, and you know that there's some who actually do consider racism as important to get rid of and treat. And you've seen others who just think of racism as just something that doesn't really matter, or it's a figment of our imagination. Why do you believe many Americans look at racism as fiction?
Oh man, I don't know where do we begin? We begin with like what they're trying to do in Florida, try to pass
Good one.
laws that depict slavery as non-existent. Like we know what's happened. We've a lot of us we know the history. We know what's going on, but I feel like it's time for us to not just focus on the fact that there's racism out there. There's other issues as well.
Mhm.
It's not just racism. It's a lot of different things. It's poor educational systems. It's poor healthcare systems. It's poor. It's just the
Yeah,
fact that a lot of us are poor.
I'm about to say poor in terms of finances. Yeah.
So they want to keep the focus on racism because it's another thing that keeps us divided. Yeah, does it exist? Yes.
Right.
Um, is it the only thing that's holding us back? No.
No.
There are other things holding us back. This not financial literacy is holding us back. Education is holding us back. The fact that we're just consumers and not
Mm.
sellers is holding us back.
Mm.
Are we going to continue to are we going to continue to live like this, where all we focus on is consuming, 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 but we're not selling, we're not creating, we're not selling, and we're not teaching our kids to sell. One thing we're teaching our kids is consumption. Is buy more. Like how many people in our communities are more focused on wearing Balenciaga across their chest.
Well, if it's one too many, and we know we know that number is more than one. Man,
Instead of learning about building a portfolio or something, they're more worried about wearing someone else's name on them.
yeah, yeah, it's messed up that we live in a society where, especially in my community, where self-worth too many is found in what they purchase, what they buy. Like they find more self-worth, which of course that's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
But they find more self-worth in a Gucci bag.
I keep seeing a video of the professor, and he's talking to other people, and he's talking about our problem is we rather have a $5,000 purse
Mhm.
with $100 in it than $100
Let
bag with $5,000 in
$1,000 in the
it.
bank account. Hmm. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
our problem.
I love the fact that the character writes a story that has all sorts of stereotypes and all bad English, and that it all of a sudden is embraced. Although he wrote these brilliant pieces that didn't even get a no moment's notice, or a person didn't even bat an eye to it. Why are black and brown stereotypes so tightly embraced today?
Because we we allow it. We
Thank you
allow
for
it.
saying that.
We allow this foolishness. We allow. Look at the number one music right now, and I'm not even a big fan of drill music, and
I'm not either.
but that's what they're pushing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why? Because it's not uplifting. It's not something that's encouraging. It's not. It's just showing us in a bad light again continuously,
Mm-hmm.
and until we decide to be like, no, we're not gonna. This is not what our music gonna be about anymore. We're gonna change it, and people stop. And listen, I don't knock anybody's art, whatever.
Yeah.
But if y'all want to see change, be change. That we can't continuously support and view these songs. Like listen to these songs. We gotta really find stuff that is gonna be more uplifting and more. And I'm not saying the music I grew up to was it was what it was. It was the music of my
Yeah.
generation, and I'm saying I could relate to a lot of it, but and I'm sure the younger generation can relate to a lot of this music. But to me, it's the record companies pushing an agenda. So when it comes to situations like that, we need to be like, no, we're not going to stand for this. We're not going to continuously have y'all push these stereotypes on us. Why is it that we continuously have to have you talking about shooting? Like, it's okay in these rap songs for them to talk about killing black people and killing each other. But the moment you say something against a Jewish person or anything, you're anti Semitic. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, we have to stop this. But you're not stopping the fact that you're allowing these songs to continue to glorify this violence.
Will playing the stereotypes ever not be commercially acceptable in society?
Will it never listen again until we do something about it, it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
And so and it's not gonna happen because we're
No.
continuous. They're always gonna find somebody to play that role. They're
Yep.
always gonna find someone to play that role,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of why someone we'll be discussing on later on in the show flipped off the way he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then the more I think about it, the more I don't blame him for flipping off the way he did. Now, one of the interesting aspects about this too, when it comes to identity and just the thought of this movie is intriguing. Just to even talk about it and the stuff that unearths a lot of the things I think we need to actually address. Code switching. How important is being yourself? Being a person of color and with other people of color.
I wouldn't know because I'm myself with everyone. Like
I know.
I don't
I know.
I
So am
don't
I.
know. I
Mhm.
don't act like just because when I'm with black people don't mean I act blacker than what I am or
Yeah.
if
Because you're
I'm
black,
hanging out with
but you're black enough as it is anyway. So why would you have to turn up being what you already are?
I just I don't know. And what I act the same way I act like I work with white people and I act the same way around them. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not I don't want to know because I don't
Right.
change myself around anyone. Like
Right.
um maybe I might not curse more around certain people but that doesn't make it a black or white thing. It's more
No.
it all depends on the person. Like
Yeah.
there's just certain people. So I don't act any certain way with anyone. I'm myself every single like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just me. Like
Yeah.
I'm the same way I'm with you that I'm when I'm with Jeff Ravilla
Yeah.
or if I'm with Ryan McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
So shout out to
Yeah.
both guys. They're both awesome
Yeah.
people. So
Both of them awesome people. Yeah. Both of them are. Both of them are cool. And same with me. I don't feel the need to turn on some sort of dialectal twitch. I'm like, look, this is me. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. I'm not for everybody. I know that. You know, and so and you can call me oh yeah, you're a black guy sounding white. I don't give a crap. I'm a guy who sounds like me. That much is for certain. And if you don't like me being black and me, then that's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
Mentality will be back in 2 and 2. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Welcome back to Mentality, a show created for all men. With Wise Lefe, I am Cole Johnson. And this story, when I saw it, it broke my heart, and it still breaks my heart to this moment. Welcome to Brotherhood Goals. Daryl Hall and John Oates. Now, I'll mention names of songs that you'll know exactly who it is. Man Eater, Rich Girl, Kiss on My List, Method of Modern Love, Say It Isn't So, and other big time hits they've had. They have been, I guess you could say, the soundtrack to many Gen Xers.
Yeah.
But now, unfortunately, there is a rift. But one of those two members, John Oates, he says he hasn't really lost that love and feeling, which that's another song they did. Of course, it's the cover of the Everly Brothers song that was released back in the 50s. The rock icon is embroiled in a legal battle with his bandmate Daryl Hall after Hall filed a temporary restraining order against him back in December, stemming from a contested joint venture between the artists. I'm sorry, November, not December. But Oates hasn't let the skirmish sour his opinion of their music, saying, quote, "You can't ignore the fact that Hall & Oates' catalog of hits in the 50-year career will always trump almost anything Daryl does on his own or I do on my own, which is okay, because I'm very proud of the music." Close quote. Now, he said that he was really proud of the music that Daryl and him created together, and he feels as though they made music that will stand the test of time, and I agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you think of Hall & Oates, and I mentioned a few songs, what are your favorite songs from him?
Oh man, there's songs that I listen to and I hear, and then I see the video and I forget it's them that sang it. Man, they got so many classics, man.
Yeah.
Especially then, even where I work at, they play a lot of their songs now to this day. So, there's just so many that I can. Man Eater, of course. There's just so many, man, for me to name. I enjoy their music. It's sad to see a partnership like that sour but they are the soundtrack to a lot of people's lives, man. So they've written so many wonderful hits. It's hard to even just pinpoint which one. Like there's so many.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing about this is when the interviewer asked Oates about their biggest time period, which would be probably say between 1980 to 1986 or 1987. Their heyday. Many of us would think, well, okay, the times has been great. The music was churning, the creativity was flowing, and the money was coming in their direction because, of course, they wrote their songs. They wrote their own songs too. But Oates actually said that he didn't feel at the time he could reflect on how good it was, because he said, quote, "You know what? I just couldn't wait to get out of there. That's kind of how I felt about it." Close quote. And that's what he said about the very intense period of the stardom that they received during probably the first 5-6 years of the 80s. So why do you think people can't relate to fame being a person caught in a proverbial trap?
It's so many different reasons, man. Like some people can't deal with the constant. When you're famous, like a musician and actors, like your life no longer is private.
Right.
You are now public domain.
Mhm.
And sometimes some people don't know how to react to that. Sometimes people just don't know that that this is part of what you give up when you step in that limelight and step in that bright spotlight. Like there's sacrifices you have to make in order to be there. And so a lot probably was given up in order for them to achieve the fame that they did.
I 100% agree with you. I think that's the case. Both of them are Philadelphia boys, so yeah. And I think people don't realize how much of a fishbowl success becomes. Will this legal battle, though, become something both Hall and Oates um, will regret?
Will they ever be able to bounce back from it? Like, will they ever be able to
Yeah.
mend the fences?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if people really sat down and just had dialect and have open communication, I think anything could be resolved. If they feel that this dispute is worth their friendship, then they might never be able to bounce back from it. But hopefully their relationship that's over 30 something years, hopefully it can be mended and they can get back to touring and entertaining people.
What can Daryl and John do to heal their legal divide?
You can sit down and hash it out like two brothers, man. Sit down and get drunk together, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know how their relationship is. It's how would I resolve it if me and one of my brothers had an issue? We sit down and discuss it, and if we could repair it, we can be able to sit down. We'll be able to repair it. If not, it's just not everyone is a part of your journey forever. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Some people are built for a lifetime for you. Some built for a reason and some built for a season. So yeah. Yeah. But with a relationship like theirs, I know they're not built for a season or reason.
No, I'm sure they'll be able to mend fences once ego and pride get out of it, and they start to realize, like, listen, man, I miss working on my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a bond like that just doesn't disappear overnight.
Nope.
Later, we will have Thoughts from the Throne. This is Mentality. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride! LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Welcome back to Mentality, where it is the ultimate masculine safe space. With YSLFA, I am Cole Johnson, and I think it's time for us to talk about it because I think it is something for all of us to ponder. Actor, writer, comedian, and hip-hop artist Katt Williams felt he needed to set the record straight. Now, what record? Well, the actor-comedian took aim at comics Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smiley, along with Kevin Hart and others, during an appearance on the Club Shay podcast this past Wednesday. Now, Williams told the host, Shannon Sharp, that he wanted to address the mistruths said about him by what he termed as, quote, lowbrow comedians, close quote, who actually appeared on the show, which would be Cedric, Steve, and Ricky. And he called them a gang. He went on to describe why he mentioned them as a gang. Quote, for 30 years, they're a group. These aren't three random guys. All of these dudes are co-intertwined, and they share secrets. And this is the age of truth. Close quote. Now, to begin the questions here, Cedric the Entertainer is the first of the ones that I want to get to. And he talked about the fact that Cedric stole a joke that Williams told on Comic View. Well, for those who aren't aware, this was a show on BET that aired in the late 90s and I think early 2000s, where some of the best underground comics would get the chance to be on air and show how funny they were. Well, Katt Williams was part of it. And he also said that Cedric the Entertainer was in the audience when the joke in question was stolen, and then it was retold but repackaged on the original Kings of Comedy. Now, my question to you, sir, is with Cedric the Entertainer, should there be a hard and fast rule about taking or stealing or jacking someone's material?
This is something that's been going on for years, man. Someone steals a joke and just hears a joke and they're like, oh yeah, and they just might flip a couple of words or flip a situation or whatever it is. This is what's been going on for years, man. One of Ced's boys, Steve Harvey's been accused of stealing jokes.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, that wasn't a question I was going to ask, but yeah, he mentioned that the Katt, he mentioned that Steve Harvey, not only did he steal jokes of Mark Curry's, but he basically ripped off a whole sitcom. That Hanging Mr. Cooper was ripped, repackaged, and done as the Steve Harvey Show. To your point. That's what
Well,
Katt said.
is there really a lie to it? Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Mark Curry played school teacher,
Mhm.
right? It happened to be a gym teacher,
Right.
but he played the school teacher.
Mhm.
The Steve Harvey Show, he played the music teacher.
Right. Mhm.
The way hanging with Mr. Cooper, the way he dressed, and then you go Steve Harvey, and it's just so many coincidences.
Not only did he say that Steve Harvey tried to steal Mark Curry's stuff, he actually said that Steve stole Katt's story of being homeless. I'm like, wow. Now, he, of course, didn't stop with Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. He also went after Ricky Smiley. Now, it has been said that Ricky said that he was the guy who in Friday After Next was going to play the role of Money Mike. But Katt said, quote, "This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was going to be Money Mike, and Katt Williams was going to be Santa Claus. We auditioned in Los Angeles. I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying that all 201 of us was auditioning, and you already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days?" Close quote. So my question to you about that, and with Ricky Smiley, do you believe he had the Money Mike role before Katt and Friday After Next?
No. No. But again, I don't know why dudes gotta lie though. Like, I don't understand why dudes gotta be out there lying about. Listen, you played Santa Claus. That was the role meant for you.
Yes.
That was play your position, my man. Just you played Santa. Like, leave it alone. Like, be grateful that you played the role. Why are you over here trying to be like, I was gonna be Money Mike? Man, you didn't get the role because obviously it's Katt Williams. So
And Katt Williams is
get
made for
over.
that.
Like, you know what it is? They like Poppy J. I'm quoting him. He's talking about trauma season, man. Dudes are really they're in their feelings right now. And they want to be a part of the trauma season, and so
I felt that one. Oh man. There was a clause in his contract that he placed stipulating that he would only work with Smiley if he were to wear a dress in his roles. So he goes on to say, quote, "Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract." That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women. Close quote. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. But I do agree with them. Ricky Smiley was not an actor. It still isn't. Still isn't a really good actor. And he also clowned him for having a character of special needs in Lil Daryl. Oh my gosh. But even though he went hard after Steve Harvey, went hard after Cedric the Entertainer, went hard after Ricky Smiley, to me, the one he went hardest at was Kevin Hart. Katt said this about Kevin Hart, quote, "In the last 25 years, whenever I come into a room, he leaves the room." Close quote. So with Kevin Hart, could he be an industry plant as Katt suggested in an interview?
I don't know, man. I don't. The way I don't. What is an industry plant? Like, is he saying that they're putting putting Kevin in a position to succeed. So what? So that he can hold other people back like Cat Williams, or I don't. Again, it's Kevin saying one thing that there's those that Cat lost because drug abuse and not showing up and all.
Right.
So sometimes if you tell the truth, some people get offended. I don't know if it's true or not, but oh man, I don't know if Kevin's the plant, man. I really don't, because to me it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know.
And now, thoughts from the throne.
Once again, wonderful show. So shout out to the EP extraordinaire for putting together a great show. My thoughts from the throne is to reflect on 2023. Like, it was a great year as far as content creation for me. It was an amazing year. But personally, it's been a rough year. Personally, it's been a rough year. Burying my cousin early in the year, and then burying my aunt later on in the year, towards the end of the year, and then with all the struggles that we're having with my mom. But I'm gonna take 2024 and really start enjoying and celebrating the success that we're having as far as mentality, Stuck in My Mind podcast, Poppy Jane Wise, and just everything that's coming out of the Real Wise and Kumi Media camps. We're blessed to be able to do this. And I'm blessed to be able to work with someone like Cole and be able to learn and really have the relationship that we've been able to build in this last year and a half together. So love you, my brother, and appreciate you, and appreciate everybody who's tuned in and been really supportive of what we're doing here at Mentality. So that's what I have for today, and I'm good. Peace.
Life is about sharing those moments with special people and getting a chance to, on a weekly basis, do that with one of my closest friends and a brother in Wise. And of course, I love you too, man. It makes life worthwhile. This past Wednesday, I got a chance to celebrate, even though I'm in Nashville and this person's in Houston. I got a chance to celebrate the man who taught me how to be a man, my father. I got a chance to celebrate his 87th birthday. And when I heard him speak to me in the phone call, it was great. It's almost eerily like the relationship I have with Wise. It was like literally two brothers catching up with each other and just enjoying the other person for the quality human being that God created them to be. And the reason why I could have brotherhood like the one I have with Wise is my first brother was my father, and he was purposeful in setting that up for me. And I get the privilege to still share it, even with him being 87. So to Dad, I love you. If it wasn't for you, I would not be the man that I am today. And I 100% appreciate you, and I love you for it. And you have made me to be a good man with other good men, and I know what they look like because I saw it modeled with you first. And those are thoughts from the throne. All right, sir. Anything else that you have to add before we let the mentality audience go?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Tune in. Tune in to Stuck in My Mind podcast. Catch it on every major platform. Got some great episodes out as far as the audio. Definitely go tune in to Real Wise TV. You can find Mentality there as well as Poppy J and Wise. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, again, I cannot tell you or stress enough, man, how important you are to me. And I'm so glad that this platform exists. And I'm so glad that you're one half of it. And as we approach a year of this platform, it's a beautiful thing to share in something good with someone who is so good. And I don't mean just talent. I just mean in quality of human being, quality of man. And I'm blessed to share this stage with you, man. I'm blessed.
So am I, brother.
I love you, man. So thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting as well. And thank you for hitting that notification bell so you can catch any and all content that emanates, like you heard earlier, from the Real Wise TV YouTube channel or from the Comey Media YouTube channel. And there will be many things that you can catch that are playing now and many in the future to come. For Wise Jalepe, I am Cole Johnson, here to say in parting, as we always do, our secret technique is that we always speak with mentality. See you next week. And Happy New Year.
That's 100.